Greetings, travelers, and welcome to episode 42 of WesterosCraft Walks with your tourist guide host, Dutch Guard. In today's episode, we'll be taking a look at Bear Island in the north, the seat of House Mormont. Famous because we know Jorah Mormont, who's one of the main characters of A Song of Ice and Fire, and this is where he hails from, Bear Island, all the way in the northern reaches of the north, in the Bay of Ice, along the frozen shore. We've got one of the least hospitable places in Westeros, which is why I'm staying inside for as long as possible. Staying right very close to the fire, because that's where it's warm. But we'll have to brave the cold to go explore Bear Island, and the castle, and the keep, and all the good stuff, and oh my god, it's snowing! Yes! I love a good bit of snow. Thought I'd have the snow on for this episode. Haven't done it before, I don't think. I thought for any build, this would be the most appropriate to have some snow falling. As you can see, there is snow absolutely everywhere. On the trees, on the ground, on the sea, on the houses. Speaking of the houses, you can see we've got that lovely northern style with our spruce and jungle logs and some of our planks, northern planks. And we've developed this special snow block. We've got stair versions, slab versions, and full block versions of this snow block, which we've used to make these beautiful roofs. Well, not we, but the builder who led this build did a fantastic job. He said it was very tedious trying to get it right, but it really paid off, and all these little buildings look fantastic. They look nice and little cozy, like little shacks at the North Pole. In fact, this whole island sort of reminds me of Christmas, except for the warm and fuzzy feeling. It's just too cold. We've got this lovely dead tree here with some of those custom icicles hanging off of it. And out here, covered with ice, is the Bay of Ice. And we are on an island in the middle of the Bay of Ice, and all around us is the frozen shore. And the frozen shore is a stretch of coastline on the northwest portion of Westeros, very near to Deepwood Motte and Torrhen Square. And we've got the wall to the north and beyond the wall. In fact, this island gets raided by wildlings quite frequently. In fact, frequently enough that we've got a bit of a warrior culture among the women here on Bear Island. They're sort of brought up like salt wives in the Iron Islands. They're meant to defend Bear Island when their husbands are away. So we've got a very harsh climate, a very harsh kind of lifestyle here on Bear Island. Which, for those of you who know about the story of Jorah Mormont, is partially the reason why he left. But yes, here we are, Bear Island. Not originally the seat of House Mormont, but we'll go into the history a little bit later on. I just want to talk a little bit about the style here. And I just love these little paths carved out of the snow. You can see little shovels stuck in the snow there for carving out the pathways. Again, reminds me of Christmas time, shoveling all those driveways as a kid. Oh my god. Character building, though. Character building. We've got these lovely fish hanging out to cure. We've got some boathouses in the distance there that are sort of disused because it's winter. You can't really sail anything out on in the sea at the moment because everything is frozen over. I'm sure there's some fishermen around here. That's sort of what these guys are. They're fishermen and crofters that sort of just live off the land and the sea. And there's not very many people on Bear Island, but there are a couple of villages. This is one of them. This is the closest one to the Mormont Keep. We've got a nice little axe here for chopping some firewood. Always important. It's like the lifeblood of these people. Without fire, you're freezing to death. So we're just going to follow these carved out little pathways, which I just loved, to the Mormont Keep, which is just this way. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the history of Bear Island. It's one of the most disputed regions or land masses in the north. It's been sort of a tug of war between the Iron Islands and the north. So think way back when, before the conquest, and we still had kings of the Iron Islands and kings of the north. And the current holders of the Seastone Chair on the Iron Island is House Hoare, and specifically King Harrog Hoare. And his son, Ravos Hoare, took Bear Island from the original house that sat on Bear Island, House Woodfoot. So House Woodfoot was living here peacefully, and then suddenly the Iron Islanders, the raiders, came and took it from them and sort of made them an extinct house. Just check out this lovely little bridge here, crossing over a stream, which is feeding out into the Bay of Ice. But anyway, yes, so House Hoare was then in control of Bear Island, and this is why actually we've got sort of a pine tree on the sigil of House Hoare, and this island is just covered in pine trees. Lots of coniferous trees, as well as lots of oaks, as well as Cannon says. We've got some oaks in another part of the forest here, I think. Lots of shrubbery and just lots of frozen things. Lots of frozen things in Bear Island. So for a couple of years, House Hoare held Bear Island, but it was then retaken by King Theon Stark, one of the kings of the North, and drove the Ironborn from Bear Island and slayed Ravos in battle, in combat. And then, again, several years later, another king, this time a Greyjoy king, King Loren Greyjoy, retook Bear Island for the Ironborn. And this is when one of the Lannisters was attacking the Iron Islands, and King Greyjoy must have come up here to find some refuge from the Lannisters, who were attacking them mercilessly. But King Loren, eventually, he passed away. And while the Iron Islands were weak, and yet another king of the North, King Roderick Stark, came and retook Bear Island and gave it to the Mormonts. And so the Mormonts have been in control of Bear Island, at least since before Aegon's conquest. And so this is sort of the little home they've built for themselves. We've got this beautiful, a pretty big ring fort, a great example of a ring fort, with this beautiful wooden palisade that's curving around in both directions, and this nice trench with these spikes sticking out to deter attackers. Now, sort of the days of the warring Seven Kingdoms are gone, but they're still at risk of wildling raiders, as I said, and of course the Ironborn tend to raid them every once in a while, but it's very, very far north, so perhaps less frequently than before. Right, so here we are inside the main keep, inside the fortress of the Mormonts. We've got a nice little stables here for some horses, perhaps some donkeys, all that good stuff. We've got some loft space as well for storing some of the hay, some of the food for the horses there. Horses, what am I, 5? Anyway, we've got some beautiful, beautiful houses here, some long houses, which are just great, perfectly suited for this area. You can see they're sort of built on stilts to stay above the snow drifts. And in here, I believe we've got sort of a barracks here with some clothes hanging up to dry. We've got some snow falling through the smoke hole at the top of this building here. No chimneys here on Bear Island. It's mostly just smoke holes on the top of the roof. Of course, that smoke helps to insulate against the cold outside. I think this is a punching bag, actually. It must be the barracks then. Punching bag for training combat for men and women alike. There may very well be several women soldiers in Bear Island. Up here we've got a nice little watchtower, I believe. And in this little house we've got... Oh, yeah, this must be the armory. Does this... Yeah, this must go up to the watchtower. So let's have a look out up here. And, yeah, I just love the snow textures. And it just looks kind of, warm and fuzzy. When you look at it, you kind of want to go inside, get out of the cold, have a hot chocolate. Of course, life here is much harsher than that, but the builder who created Bear Island definitely made it look as homely as possible. Right, so out of the armory and back into the world, I'm going to try and find... there's a really cool granary around the back of the main hall of the Mormont Keep. So that's it ahead of us there, and we'll check that out in just a second. But over on the left here, you've got, again, on stilts, this granary here. Of course, again, to keep it away from the snow and potential moisture that could ruin and spoil the food. So we've got lots of meat hanging up, some fish, lots of cheese, sacks of grain and flour, all that good stuff that you need to keep hidden away for a long and cold winter. So yes, very important in all of the north of Westeros to have very large stores of food, just in case the winter ends up being unexpectedly long. Right, so now we're heading into the main hall, the long hall of the Mormont Keep. You can see the sigil sort of printed on the back there of the hall, which is a black bear on a green field. And here we've got the main hearth with some meat roasting on a spit. We've got a lord's dais up here with some cheese. Of course, cheese being a signifier of great wealth, at least on our server anyway. Lots and lots of cheese. We've got some quarters here for some more of the nobility. Nobility sounds so weird to say on Bear Island because they're not poor, but they're just not very well off. They haven't got very many resources. Very small garrison of guards and soldiers. So they're doing all right for themselves, but they're not by no means on the radar of say, the king of Westeros. Right. So here we've got the Lord's Chambers up here. Pretty cozy looking bed, thatch, or fur, whatever you want it to be, with some beautiful northern carvings around the headboard there, which is quite cool. Right, and we're just heading out to the balcony here where the Lord can come out and greet the fresh, brisk, bracing winter air. And that's it, really. There's so much more to explore on Bear Island, several other fishing villages, and there's way more to this keep than I can show you in this video. So again, I highly encourage you to come onto our server and explore. When you come onto our server, just type in /warp Bear Island, and it'll bring you right here to this lovely little frosted island in the Bay of Ice. So guys, thank you for watching, and stay tuned next time for episode 43.